And I am the digital brand manager for the University of Southern California, which is a small private school near downtown LA. Some of you may have heard of it. So I work with the Enrollment Services Division on campus, and I lead a digital marketing team which pretty much acts like an in-house agency that services the admissions department, financial aid, orientation, and registration. And so my team is responsible for helping to develop, manage, and measure all of our digital communications with prospective and current students. So one of the biggest departments on campus, obviously, is admission. And an objective for admissions is to increase the yield and retention rate for students. Now, I was tasked to figure out exactly how we can utilize digital platforms to help them meet this goal. So before I'm able to really build out a strategy, I have to figure out the type of data that I have to work with. So essentially, there's two types of data. You have your structured data, which is essentially all of the data that we have on our target audience. Everyone who has submitted an inquiry online, any information that's passed on through their college application process. And then we have the other data, which is the unstructured data. Now, that's the data that involves a lot of the social analytics and engagements and things like that. Now, the key is really marrying the two to figure out if we can gain more insight on our target audience. So I'm going to give it to you. Here is the formula. It's my secret sauce, right? This is the foundation that I use in order to develop this social data strategy. So I look at the historical performance, which could be the previous standardized test scores or the GPA. And for your organization, it could be the past purchase behavior, right? And then you also add your demographic information on that, really figuring out areas in which we have limited coverage, limited alumni base, and so on, or for your organization where you have limited amounts of business coming from that particular geographic location. Then you're able to develop a target profile. You augment that with your social data, and you're able to get a sentiment score based on that particular formula. Now, again, this formula has many moving parts. It's very labor intensive, but this is the formula and the foundation that I use to develop my digital strategy. For retention, it's somewhat of the same. So we look at the prior analytics. In your case, it would be the past purchase behavior, as well as augmenting that with the new social data that you get from social listening to yield an attrition score. Now, this works well when you look at it through your traditional sales and marketing funnel, right? You'll notice that you can use social data and how it'll change in each of the individual phases of the sales and marketing funnel. So, for example, in the beginning phase, you're obviously going to use social data to reach more prospective customers. You're also going to use it to proactively engage in conversations with your customers. So, for example, if you ever went to Las Vegas and you put something out on social media before you get to Las Vegas, 9 times out of 10, someone is going to reach out to you, whether it be a hotel or a casino, a club promoter, or whatever the case may be, to engage with you to bring in new business, right? And of course, we utilize social data to improve your conversions. So as you guys are out there and you're meeting with prospective clients, what is one of the first things that you guys do? You go to social media, you check out their LinkedIn, you see their past work experiences, their affiliations, and so on, all to inform your pitch, right? It's the same thing. That's the same. We utilize social data in the same manner in order to increase our conversions in the proposal phase. You also can use social data to improve the retention, right? You want to look and see how your product or your service is being utilized by your consumer. Now, for me, I highly believe that the more our target audience engages with us through our digital platform, the easier it is to move them along that funnel. So, for example, I tell my team all the time that social data is the oil in our marketing engine. I'll repeat it one more time. Social data is the oil in our marketing engine. So once we get more people to interact with us through our digital platforms, once we acquire them, engage them, drive them to action, and then create content to convert them, it's much easier to move them along that funnel once we have collected the social data. So here's an action plan. We're going to utilize social data to find out what customers are saying about your business. As marketers, we oftentimes continue to create campaigns, but we don't sit there and look at the responses. And when I say sit there and look at the responses, it means actually what customers are saying about your company or your campaign and how it's resonating outside of just the click-throughs, right? We also use social data to join conversations. Again, if you are going to Vegas, if you are talking about a particular brand, utilize that social data to interact with your prospective customers.